So there was a pretty long time in my life, I would say, for the first, I guess I won't talk about before, like, 13, 14, 15 years old, but I would say from when I was a young, adolescent to probably up until I was around like 21, 22, maybe even, that I just sort of had this mentality where, and maybe you can relate to this, I just wanted to control the way people acted, right? I wanted to have this, like, I was sort of uncomfortable when people didn't act the way that I wanted them to, or like even when they said something, especially like, for example, maybe a friend has said something to you and you just disagree with it, and you thought you were on the same page with them in a certain way, and it turns out you weren't, right? And that's like the most like minor version of what I'm talking about. So um, I think that this is a stoic sort of mentality that I've sort of started to have in the last 3 4 years maybe, where I've sort of realized that you just can't control other people. You genuinely cannot control anybody else except yourself, and that's why at the end of the day you need to just double down on you. You have to think as far as you have to think in terms of what can you do, what are the things that you can control, what are ultimately the things that you are going to take control of in your own life and do things completely on your own, right? Now, here's the thing. You might be thinking, "Oh, but you need people." What do you mean? You're just going to go lone wolf and not talk to anybody and not try to work with anybody, if you're thinking in terms of business, it's like, no, of course not. You do need to work with people. I think that there's the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others, right? So obviously, you do need people at a certain point, at many points throughout your life. In reality, you should be talking to people every single day. That's just human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a there's a nuance to the mentality that you have when going about dealing with other people, and I think that nuance is something that it took me a long time to figure out. And I guess the best way that I would put it, I'm trying to figure out a way to like articulate it here so you understand what I'm saying is, you don't have this black or white mentality of, I'm with these people and these people have the same exact beliefs as me and the same mentality as me, and I can totally rely on these people, and anytime I call them, they're going to pick up right on time, they're going to text me back right away, they're going to agree with all of my values. It's like, or that's like the black or white. That's like the black, and then the white would be, I'm completely on my own, I hate all these people, I don't want anything to do with them, and I'm doing things on my own because they won't do it my way, and it's my way or the highway, right? That's the dangerous place to be, I think, because um what happens is, life is just not black and white. That's my point I'm trying to make here, is you have to almost take people for what they are, not what you want them to be. And to me, that's a lesson that it took me a long time, again, to really learn this. And it's something that it's an ongoing thing. Everybody's, I think, you're it's not like you've learned this lesson and then now I just know this, right? But there's certain times where like I get into that, again, that space where I'm trying to mentally, I want people to act in a certain way, or maybe you expect that they're going to think a certain thing or do a certain thing or have a certain opinion or be reliable in the way that you want them to, whatever it may be, and they let you down to a certain degree, right? The way that in my opinion you should navigate those situations, and never really be let down, is truly double down on yourself. Understand that although you can live a life that is full of amazing relationships, and you can have different people for different things in your life, right? You can have friendships, you can have romantic relationships, you can have business relationships, you can have like certain hobbies. You could be, maybe you've got a pool group that you go to, or maybe you've got maybe you do weird out there things like skydiving. This is your skydiving buddy, right? Whatever it may be. Maybe you go to yoga, right? Maybe you got your yoga friends or your gym buddies, whatever it is, right? You have to allow those people to just be those people. And when you encounter somebody who is genuinely so on the same page as you, obviously cherish that person, right? And obviously stick with that person who is completely on the same page as you and has those same exact values as you. And maybe if you're running your own business, right? I'm going to tie this into content creation here. If you find somebody that you can actually work with and you very much benefit from working with them, and you share your opinions and work ethic, and that person's reliable and they communicate in the same way as you, and it just seems really good. Take that person, obviously don't take that person for granted and cherish that relationship, but the but is still understand that there's no such thing as perfect, and at the end of the day, you will not have anyone but you. At the end of the day, we are separate people. Everybody's a separate person. Even if you have the most amazing relationship with somebody, even if you have the most amazing friendship, even if you have the most amazing business partner, whatever, and you need those people. You still do need those people, right? I'm not saying to, again, make it so black and white where you're saying, okay, I am either with them or I'm against, not with and against, but like with or without, right? Don't make things black and white like that, right? You should just take people for who they are. If they are really good, then say, hey, this is great. This person's really good. But I am secure enough in the mindset of, I'm good if this person's out. I'm fine. I'll be fine if this person leaves. And you don't want them to leave. Obviously, you don't want them to start disagreeing with you and not acting perfectly aligned with how you want them to and how you think that they should. And even if you think what's best, maybe you do, right? That it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be times when that person does not agree with you, whatever. And in those times, instead of getting bent out of shape like I used to, maybe you can relate to this, you have to say, look, that's fine. That's not me. And I think that this is something, again, that's really, really difficult to learn. And it takes a long time to really get this through your head, and really sort of have thick skin, right? And have like a mindset where you're not reacting when when people don't behave how you want them to. Instead, you can respond intentionally by saying, oh, that's not me. That's another person. They're going to do whatever they want at the end of the day. I'm going to do whatever I want at the end of the day. Now, the way that I would relate this to content creation is, and I've spoken about this before, I think there's two kind of sides to the industry as far as when it comes to photo and video content. There's sort of the side of the industry where you're doing larger production work and you are in Hollywood sets, and you're doing you're a part of bigger productions and you're more reliant on other people, right? Then there's the content creator side of things where you are a one-man army. You're confident that you can come up with concepts, you can shoot, you can edit, you can just really take charge and make projects all by yourself, right? Now, again, do I want to just be making projects all by myself for the rest of my life? No. That's why I've put a lot of effort into building relationships with people who can help me as far as my work goes, right? I think that that's extremely important. I'm not saying don't do that. But and I've had the pleasure in the last 2-ish years to just meet some really, really, really amazing people who I hope stick around, and I hope that I stick with for forever and just continue to work with, because I think that my work everything will be better with those people, right? Just quite frankly, it's just gonna be better than being completely by myself. But, right, and here's the but, if every single one of those people left, right? If all of them left, I know that I can still make things that are of worth, and I could do quality work alone. I could do it by myself. And that's a powerful mindset to have, and it's just a very powerful place to think from, right? And again, it's not that black and white thing. It's not that egotistical, like, black and white, like, you know what, fine, leave. You don't agree with everything I say, get out of here. It's like, no, that's not the mentality. The mentality is, I'll take everyone I could get, and I'll love them, and I'll have these great relationships, and I'll work with them as much as I can. But at the end of the day, I'm not dependent on anybody. I'm double down. I'm ultimately double down on myself. And maybe you disagree. Maybe you don't agree. If you let me know your take on this, maybe this is a hot take. And I think, or maybe you do agree. And I think maybe if you do, that's just because you're living in America or one of these super developed countries where there's a very individualistic culture is like this, right? Everybody is, like you can start a sole proprietorship, right, by yourself, right? That's what most people do if they're going to start a business. It's just usually them. Maybe they've got some business partners, but yeah. Anyways, back to content creation. I think this is where my argument for being a content creator. This is another reason why you should become. I've done this series why you should become a full-time creative. This is one of the reasons, because you are not ultimately dependent on anybody else. You can do things by yourself. So that's all for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you made it this far, obviously like and subscribe if you're not already. Send this video to a friend who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments what other videos you want me to talk about. I'm dropping videos of me one-take videos like this where I'm just talking about random topics every day this year. So give me more topics. That's all for now. Peace, guys.